as the Big 12 has lost a lot of rivalries, even from the day that they were formed, when they didn't make sure that Nebraska and Oklahoma continue to play, or Oklahoma and Missouri or whoever else, think about the reestablished rivalries in the SEC. Texas and A&M. Texas and Arkansas, although they've played a few non-conference games. Oklahoma, Missouri's one with dozens of years of a rivalry. So you're going to see some of that reestablished. Oklahoma A&M had played, but it wasn't really, that was just part of being a part of the same conference. They hadn't played much even before then. But that is one thing that you're going to see. Texas and Arkansas, Texas and also A&M reestablished, and Oklahoma, Missouri, an old Big 8, and then for a while a Big 12 rivalry too. Dennis Dodd will join us, CBS Sports here, and we'll ask him about the statement released by the Pac-12 here at 3:30 Central Time.
Yeah, I think A&M and Oklahoma's rivalry was obligatory. Like, that was like, there was no rivalry there. Like,
that's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was, for Oklahoma's thing, like, you know, A&M would have loved that to become a rivalry, where they would have beat them a few times. Like, it would have been something. I think they might have beat them once or twice in the whole thing, but it wasn't a great, you know, rivalry. Oklahoma pretty much came through and steamrolled them most of the time. So Oklahoma was just there because, you know, it was October 23rd.
Yeah. Texas A&M was basically the Texas Tech in that equation. Like, you know, where A&M was like, Texas Tech's not our rival, or, you know, Baylor's not our rival. It's basically how Oklahoma could say A&M's not our rival. It's like the same thing. It's just a different, you know, vantage point. But, yeah, I mean, that's still one that, just because of the fact that there's a little bit of history and there's some crossover and regionality, that'll have the opportunity to become somewhat of a rivalry, and it'll have some history behind it. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I'm just glad we don't have to see the annual article of like, it's been so many years since A&M and Texas have played, and like, that was fine, and I understand the nostalgia and all that, but I'm glad that we don't have to read that anymore after so many years, and I'm glad that, you know, the two teams will just play like they should have been playing all along, and like it makes sense to. But I understand why there was a break taken. I never thought for one single second that would be forever, but maybe it lasted a while longer than some people thought. Regardless, I mean, here we are, and yeah, that'll be nice to see again. And, you know, that game here in a couple years will be probably one hell of a ticket to try and get a hold of. I'm sure that will be amazing. I'm just curious on if, you know, the SEC puts that game in Austin or College Station. You would think that has to be in College Station. You would think.
The first time?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
You would think. But I wouldn't guarantee it. I wouldn't guarantee that it would be, but I would hope that was somehow something that A&M was promised along the way. It was like, we'll at least give you the first home game in the rivalry series once that renews. But who knows? Crazier things have happened. But, yeah, I mean, that'll be great. And, you know, Texas, Arkansas, I don't think that one's – I mean, that one's not really – that's old Southwest Conference, I get. I feel like that one's kind of, you know, been played along the way. And even when it was played, like – it was more, I think, for the older fans, but I mean, maybe that's one that really, gets rejuvenated with the conference affiliation now. So yeah, I think that'll be great in a lot of different ways. If you're Missouri or Arkansas or A&M even, I think you're optimistic and pessimistic, because like, it's more money, it's great, it's more exposure, it's more fun games, it's, you know, familiarity that you've been missing for a while, but it's also two more teams that are in many ways like going to be higher on the totem pole the moment they walk in, right? Or have the opportunity to jump right over you. So you got to be wary of that. But yeah, it'll make for some incredible competition and just some regionality that makes a lot of sense.
They have played 79 times, Texas and Arkansas, and again, they didn't play as much once the Big 12 was once Arkansas left the Big 12. I think they played 7-8 times from 2000 until recently, but they did play. But that's reestablished. But I thought when Greg Sankey mentioned that over the weekend, I was like, you know, that is a pretty good thing that they're going to be reestablished. We will think more.